Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I've got a little St. Patrick's Day card to share with you using the Spellbinders Stitch Die of the Month. And I decided I wanted to make this sort of a trucker style ball cap. So I have cut out the hat portion in both a light green and white. Now white is going to be that panel, so we're going to have that two-toned look on our hat. So I'm just trimming off one side there. And I followed the line that is scored in when you cut it with the die. I'm going to smooth those edges out, kind of round my corner a little bit. And I found a really easy way to do that is a small nail file. I just save these from when I do my nails. I've got a whole stack of them and it works great. Doesn't damage the paper, gives you a nice smooth edge. Just going to lay that on top there, make sure it looks the way that I would like it to, and there you can sort of get the idea of how this is going to go together. So I'm going to stitch the white portion of this first, and I've just picked a coordinating green thread. And I am going to stitch this just once through. So I'm going through each of the holes one time to create our stitches, but I'm not going to double back to make this a solid line. I really like the look of the white or the green peeking through in between those stitches. So I will continue that on the light green for the other portion of the hat and the brim on that darker green as well. Now for the green portion, this is going to be our solid base that we're going to add the white to, but we only need to stitch this side piece here with our green thread because the rest of it is going to be covered up. I'll go ahead here and just sort of loop my thread through to keep that down nice and tight before I trim it. And then I'm going to layer this so you can get a look at how this is going to work together. So I have gone ahead and stitched our dark green brim off camera. We're going to get this piece together. I'm adding some art glitter glue to the white portion of our hat, and I'm doing my best to get this as close to the edge as I can. I want to make sure this is stuck down nice and tight. We don't want any of our seams popping up. Just going to add our thread there to that glue. Keep that nice and tight. And then I'm just going to line this up, going around the edges, making sure they meet nicely. For the brim, I will go ahead and add a little bit of my mint tape to hold that in place, as well as that starter thread from my green portion of the hat. Again, we'll add some art glitter glue to the top of our brim and get that pressed into place. We'll go ahead and get our side of our brim in place. That's really going to give us that nice 3D look. And then we'll add all our extras. So we've got the little bead that goes at the top of the hat. And I'm not sure what these are called, but these little sort of metal pieces. And then I wanted to create a shamrock, but I don't have a shamrock die. So a really easy way to do that is with 4 hearts. So I've gone ahead and used a heart die from my stash. I've cut that out 4 times, and we're going to layer these together to create a 4-leaf clover. So I'm going to start with our side pieces here, just meeting those up right at the V of the heart. And then I'll add another dot of our glitter glue. We'll place our top heart and then our bottom heart right below it. And just meeting all of those points up in the center, this will give you a nice 4-leaf clover. Wanted to add a little bit to the background of our card base. So I have pulled in some Ranger texture paste here. We're going to play around with the stencil of the month as well. I'm adding in some Heidi Swap gold color sheen as well as some gold flakes. And I'm just going to get all of that mixed together. And then skipping ahead here, I have got the very top stencil that was included in this month's stencil kit layered on a piece of Neenah cardstock. And these are going to give us some really nice texture, these little dots on either corner of our sheet here. And I'm going to use this whole glop of texture paste. I love to try and make this as thick as I can and as smooth as I can, because when you lift up that stencil, it really gives this just gorgeous, gorgeous texture. And we can't save it, so there's no reason not to get as much of that on there as we can. Peel that away, and voila. Now, I suggest whenever you use texture paste to let this sit overnight, which is exactly what I did. Here I'm showing you it dried. Love how thick that is on there. Now, I wanted a little bit more gold on this. So I'm going to go back to that color shine. And I just like to take the cap off of it and just kind of splash to give some little extra dots. This will be a little bit more shiny because it doesn't have the texture paste in it. It's also going to be a little bit deeper of a gold color. And I will go ahead and hit that with my heat gun. Skipping ahead here, I will add some art glitter glue to the back of that, and we're going to get that placed on top of our card base. Making sure all 4 of my corners match there. And then again, because our texture paste is going to give a little bit of warping to that, I want to make sure it's down nice and flat. So just going to run my bone folder over the back of that. I've gone ahead and popped up our hat and our sentiment with some foam dots, and we're going to press those into place as well. And I realized I did not add any to our little side piece there. So I'm going to pull in 2 more of the smaller dots. Got to make sure that's all supported. And we'll go ahead and place down our hat. And then our sentiment as well. And this sentiment is included in with the Stitch Die of the Month. Lucky you are ours. I noticed I had just a smidgen of this was off, so I'm just gonna very carefully trim a sliver of that off the side there. Make sure it's nice and even. Of course, we add some ATG and a panel on the inside of our card base, and that will complete our card for today. Here are a few close-ups of the finished card. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I've used. if you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.